We are potentially days away from the federal government shutting down. So I wanted to come on here and talk about what that will look like for America's national parks if the government does close. Now, for context, I was at the U.S. Department of the Interior, which is the department that oversees the national parks, in 2013, the last time Republicans shut the government down with a Democratic president. So I have firsthand experience of what this actually looks like in the event of a shutdown. So let's get to it. So number one, the parks will close. The gates will go up, there will be signs closed till further notice, and no one is supposed to enter. Now, the reality is people will still enter. These parks are vast, and it's very easy for people to get into them even without going through the proper gates. This is a potentially life-threatening situation. If somebody falls or has a medical event in a massive national park, there won't be anybody there to help them. It will take hours sometimes for people to get to them. So it's incredibly dangerous, and it also strains resources at the local level for having to respond to these situations without any help from the federal government. It's also really dangerous for the parks themselves. Without people, the rangers in particular, managing these parks on a daily basis, trash will build up, which is potentially threatening some endangered habitats and wildlife. Historic structures and things need maintenance on a daily basis. That won't happen. So it will really put our parks at risk, along with the American public who are using the parks. It puts them at risk as well. Now, Republicans will say, well, we'll just have the police or the sheriff's departments handle it during the shutdown. This is also a reckless decision for lots of reasons, but mostly police and sheriffs are not trained to handle a national park. They don't know the terrain. They don't know the potential situations that can happen on the ground. It puts them, as well as anybody in the park, at risk. So it's not a workable solution. The workable solution is to keep it closed and not let anybody in. The other part of the problem here is the revenue lost from closing these parks, and also the lives that are disrupted because of it. There are countless weddings that happen at national parks every weekend. And in 2013, there were dozens of people contacting the department in a panic asking what they should do. And the reality is there wasn't anything we could say because the parks were closed. We're also going to lose millions of dollars in revenue from overseas visitors. Every year, international visitors account for millions of dollars of revenue to our national parks. Well, if the parks are closed, they're not going to come to the U.S. at all. So that means no flights, no on-the-ground transportation, hotels, restaurants. Everybody will suffer for this. So the reality is it's not a good situation. I really hope that this doesn't happen, though it seems likely. My recommendation is for you and anybody else who is watching this to not go to the national parks. Don't risk it. Stay away. Encourage Congress to reopen the government so that the national parks can open. So unfortunately, this is where we're at. I hope this doesn't happen, but I have a feeling that it will. But I wanted to come on here and talk about the real negative impacts on our national parks, and also for the American public who enjoy them every day. They won't be able to do that during the shutdown. So I hope it doesn't happen, or if it does, it's short, and that everybody can get back out to enjoying these amazing spaces all across the country. Thank you.